Hi there, this is Joe from SquareXO and this is episode 15. I'm here, Dan's here.
Hi there everybody.
And we're ready to get going, so how about that? Before we start, don't forget that you can follow us on twitter.com/square_xo, youtube.com/johansonwater, our website squarexo.co.uk, we're on twitch.tv/squarexo, and please remember to leave us a nice review and all that on iTunes. Thank you. That's that. Okay, news time. Straight on to the news. Oh, it's flowing. It's flowing.
Slick.
Okay, right. I'll try and put the PlayStation news first generally, because that is a PlayStation podcast, and then I kind of separate the rest. But there's not really a lot of news the last week, which is probably why I'm feeling a bit rubbish. I'm a bit like, oh, there's no news. That always gets me down.
Nothing's going on.
Today's charts, Lego World's done quite well actually. I was quite surprised. That charted at number 2. Ghost Recon Wildlands was number 1 again, sort of for the second week in a row. It interests me that actually, because I mean I was going to talk about the Mass Effect scores. That was one of my news bits, but Ghost Recon Wildlands is actually, when I looked on Metacritic, it actually scored lower than Mass Effect did by about 1 or so. I think Mass Effect was on 75 and Ghost Recon Wildlands was on 74 or something like that. But it's what I was trying to say. People got review scores are kind of irrelevant now. I think it doesn't matter. I mean, the game, if it's going to sell, it's going to sell. Look at Wildlands, that was going to sell no matter what.
I can't believe it's doing as well as what it is, though.
I can't. I don't know if you ever got chart figures, but they're never really. I mean, I think Wildlands has done really well. I mean, that's done stupidly well. I think it's got the best selling game of the year so far, fastest selling, wasn't it?
Yeah, but being multi-platform helps, obviously. It just annoys me a little bit that the same old games keep selling the best.
Yeah, but it's
where's the originality in the industry going to go? People are going to stop making these crazy games if people just keep buying generic shooter A.
What people want. It's just, it says here in Chat Track, it's a good start of year for Ubisoft to now have the most weeks at number 1 so far in 2017, with 4 weeks at number 1, 2 weeks for Honor and 2 weeks for what do you call it, Ghost Recon Wildlands. But then, so I mean, it's done really well. Ghost Recon Wildlands, it never scored so great. I mean, it was 74 on average. That's still a good score.
Yeah, it's well above average.
That sort of thing annoys me, these scores, but we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, but so it's done alright. I mean, but it was always going to perhaps perform above its scores.
Yeah.
Just because people like the look of it. Open world game, kind of like The Division. It's been quite a hyped game for years.
Do you think it helps running a beta, and then that kind of gets people kind of chomping for more, and then run a beta for a few weeks beforehand, and then they've started it, so they buy it so they can carry on.
It might help giving people a taste. I think that does probably.
Because For Honor had one as well, didn't it? For Honor had a beta and then a proper release. So
yeah, as long as it's quite polished, which the Wildlands beta was polished for sure. So I think that probably did help. It's just people, quite a lot of the sort of age of people who buy these games, I reckon, is maybe a bit younger, and they just like playing with their friends, and it's quite, the ones who all like to play in groups and stuff, it's quite good games for people like that, really.
Yeah.
So Lego Worlds, that done well to leapfrog Horizon into second place. That means Horizon was third, but yeah, Lego World's kind of a bit unpolished, I hear, but I've not tried it myself. I was going to review it, but I never got it yet. I might pick that up though, because it's quite cheap and it sounds quite fun. I hear it's a bit buggy in places and stuff, but it sounds like a sort of game that will improve over time, so I'm not really got a problem with that.
So Horizon's still the highest exclusive game, so it's still doing well.
Yeah, it's still doing well, yeah. So I don't know what else is in there. Breath of the Wild slips to number 5, is that?
It's still quite high, isn't it?
no,
people.
number 6.
So people must still be buying.
So we Switch games
consoles.
still in the top 10
Yeah,
after a week.
Surprise.
So
Yeah.
there you go. I didn't expect my Switch games to stick around in the top 10. I think Breath of the Wild will probably fall out pretty soon.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know how Switch is going to continue to do. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So, more news. Sticking with Horizon Zero Dawn, that sold 2.6 million copies in its first 2 weeks on sale. That's very impressive indeed for a new IP. Sony should be pleased with that, shouldn't they?
Yeah, and it kind of all but confirms that they're going to continue to be working on it. Didn't they announce they're working on some story DLC?
Yeah, there's
some
going
kind
to be
of add-on
expansion for it, so that'll be good.
Yeah, and then obviously we're going to see a second one, aren't we? Of course.
I need to play more Horizon. I want to play more of it. I've kind of gave it in after Zelda came out, but I've kind of got a bit bored of Zelda now.
Have you? Okay, so I haven't gone back to Horizon at all yet. Have you finished Zelda, or are you still wandering around?
No, I'm quite close, but I just got bored now.
Yeah.
I kind of got...
It's almost too open-ended sometimes, isn't it? Like,
I think it's just... it's quite a repetitive game, I think.
Yeah.
Really. And I think I've just got... I know you can fast travel and stuff, but it's a bit like...
No. Have a break. Go back to Horizon for a bit.
Yeah, I might do.
I need to go back to it.
I played too much of Zelda. I think I've just got bored of it now.
Yeah.
And that worries me because it's the only game on Switch I'm likely to ever play, like you say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I like Switch, but I think to myself, what else would I play on this? I'd maybe give Lego... What do you call it again? Lego... City Undercover that I played on the Wii U. I'd probably play that again on the Switch just for fun. Why not?
Yeah.
Because that's alright. So maybe I'll play that on Switch. But I don't know. Maybe games got Yooka-Laylee might be good on Switch, and Snake Pass now, the sort of smaller games.
Maybe, but then if I've got the option to buy it on Switch or on PS4, I'm going to buy it on PS4.
Yeah,
like I've said before.
The trophies, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm just thinking, because they're smaller games, I might just sit and play them. Whereas if they're on the PS4, that sort of game I might not end up bothering with. It'll just kind of sit in my library and then I'd end up not playing it.
Yeah. I suppose in the handheld aspect of it is good.
Yeah, because it's just like if you're sitting and somebody's hogging the TV and it's just like, oh, okay, I'll just give this a go then. That's sort of what would draw me to it, I guess. Okay, other news. What else we got Sony-wise? Drawn to Death's going to be free at launch for PS Plus members. That's April. So,
what do you know about that? I don't really know too much about it.
It's like a game drawn on a notebook, and then you play it. And with chainsaws, it's kind of like a notebooky. I don't know what about it. I never really paid attention. It's David Jaffe, and I don't really.
Yeah, that's it. He's bigger than the game. I don't like it when that kind of happens, when it's all about the person rather than the game itself.
I don't really like his games usually. That Calling All Cars was alright. That was
Never
quite fun for a little while, but only because there wasn't much else to play at the time, I don't think so. But that was kind of okay, I guess.
So Wikipedia's explanation is Drawn to Death is an upcoming third-person shooter combined with a brawler arena multiplayer video game. Oh yeah, if it's just an arena-based multiplayer game, then there's no wonder they're releasing it free as part of PS Plus, because it means that at least there's going to be a lot of people playing it from day one, because that kind of game, if there's no one online, it's crap. So I won't be playing it. I won't even add it to my library, to be honest.
Nah, well, I'll add it to my library, why not? It's free, isn't it?
Yeah.
Parappa the Rapper, that's dated for April 4. I think I mentioned that last week that I'd pre-ordered that along with Loco, and then everybody started writing the news that it was out during the week after I pre-ordered it, as if they never knew. And I was like, I told you this last week. Man, I'm in the news king, should know this.
So people need to listen to the podcast to get all this first. So
so that's coming out. So what else? Capcom releasing 6 Disney title classics on PS4. DuckTales and some other stuff. I don't know if I guess it's just old sort of retro style.
There were NES games, I think.
Yeah,
back in
so
the
I
day,
guess they'll
way back.
still letting these games, won't they? Not
Probably.
remastered or anything. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that's that. Okay, Mass Effect and scores came out today. I've not looked at Metacritic recently, but I've played it myself. I presume you haven't. I mean, I had to
No.
go in EA Access. I played maybe the first 5, 6, 7 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
I've played a fair chunk of it. I was quite taken aback with how bad it looks, actually. There's people going, oh, it's a good looking game, and occasionally you get that Uncharted moment when you're staring out at the environment, and that does actually look quite nice. But then the character turns around or they talk to each other and it just completely ruins everything. The animation's dreadful. I don't like the combat either. It's too clunky. I think it feels like characters skating on ice.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the online reaction and people posting like GIFs and memes of just the facial expressions and the walking animations and stuff.
Yeah, so I think I said myself that it would probably average around 7s, and I think I'm a bit right. It's 75 at the moment. So, I mean, I don't care for scores. I'm not that fussed about scores, but I just thought other people like them, so that's why.
So you've played it on Xbox. Do you feel that there be any improvements for PlayStation just because of the Pro's extra power, and do you think that the developers will take the feedback from this kind of early access week and try and sort anything out, or is it kind of like we're done? I
would hope they'll patch the animation, make it better. I'm sure they will, because there's a lot of criticism about that. So I'm sure they'll do their best to try and fix that. I'm sure they won't leave it as is. I can't see them doing that.
Is it bad enough that they should maybe delay the game?
Nah.
No.
It's still a good game. I mean, I never really mentioned that, but it's still actually a good game.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, the animation's crappy, yeah, and also the combat I don't really like. But I mean, it's still got something about it. Do you know what I mean? That makes it quite fun to play.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought it should score dreadfully. Do you know what I mean?
Does it continue on straight from Mass Effect 3?
I don't remember Mass Effect 3, but I don't think so, no.
Right. Yeah, to be honest, I had no real interest in it anyway. I find it quite funny just seeing people's reactions. It's almost like it was doomed from the start because it's a Mass Effect game, so whatever, unless it was going to be near perfect, everyone was going to have a moan because it's one of those series that a lot of people hold dear to their heart.
It's still going to sell well.
Yeah, it will. Like you've said, I mean, if Wildlands can be number 1 for 2 weeks, then I'd imagine that this is probably going to be at number 1 for at least 2 weeks. But yeah, it's a bit like my fear with Shenmue 3. I just feel that when certain game franchises have so much hype surrounding them, it's only ever going to lead to disappointment from some people. I mean, I don't know if no one really moaned about Uncharted 4, to be fair. But then that was almost perfect anyway. But you know, certain games that people look at. Fable was one, I think, as well. I'm not picking on Xbox people, but people seem to either love that or not play it or hate it. But the people that loved it would then bash the new one when it came out because it wasn't what they wanted it to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to sell out, but I think EA needs to learn that perhaps its EA Access isn't always the best idea, giving people sort of 10 hours to play their game. Do you know what I mean? They've given me 10 hours to try out Mass Effect because I found a month code sitting about and I was able to get EA Access for free for a month. Yay.
And that's turned you off from buying the game?
Well, I wouldn't say. I wasn't going to buy the game anyway, so I wouldn't say it's turned me off from buying it. But, because I just didn't want to play another massive game this month. I've played enough of them and I've played enough of it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it would turn me off. I'd say if anything, it'd probably turn me on to it. But a lot of people, it seems to have turned off because of the animation. I mean, like I say, I played it and it probably made me think, oh, I could quite enjoy this.
Yeah.
It's my sort of game where it's open world and it's got a lot to sort of explore, and I like that sort of game. But so I quite enjoyed it, even though I didn't like certain aspects, like the combat and the animation. I still quite enjoyed it. So it's not like I was like, oh, I'm not going to play this. I might get around to playing it one day. You never know. Anyway,
when it's cheap, I'm sure it won't take long for it to drop down in price.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, what else? Sonic Mania got delayed on the Switch, so that's another game they're not getting for a while. But anyway,
Didn't it get delayed on everything?
I don't know. I thought it was only coming to Switch.
Oh, right, maybe it is then.
I just presumed it was, but maybe it's coming or stuff. I don't care.
No.
There's Sonic.
Too many games as well. It's like, I don't.
Sonic's not Sonic. Sonic's bull. I used to have Sonic, but I mean that was like 20 years ago or whatever. I mean, he's no aged well, has he? So
he doesn't know. What was the last great Sonic game? Sonic Knuckles.
Sonic 2 or something. I don't know. It's round about that time. Splatoon 2 test fires on the eShop, so if you want to try that out, you can. You only get like an hour. I think it's got this free 1 hour sessions, and in the UK, one of them's got pure bang in the middle of the morning at 3 in the morning or something stupid. So yeah, so you can download this, and if you just happen to be free the hour that you get to try it out, then you can play it. It's a stupid way of doing it, I think.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's after our conversation then about Mass Effect, though, you kind of think maybe it's a better idea because you're not giving people free reign for 10 hours to then rip it apart.
Yeah,
you're
possibly.
Giving them, it's a.
I guess it's a way of ensuring the servers are full. I guess that's why they're doing it. But yeah. Maybe they should have had set times for the UK, US and Japan though, and make it more friendly for the UK people.
Would have been nice.
That would have been a better way. But anyway.
Obviously, #Brexit.
And the Xbox, the original Xbox is 15 this week, or last week, whenever the news was last week. So,
I was surprised. I thought it'd been longer. It's not that long, is it?
15 stone, I thought the original Xbox was. Yeah. That's how big it was. I said I never got one because I couldn't fit it in my front door.
Yeah.
I had to take it back again.
Well, I suppose what is good, we should say congratulations to Microsoft, because without them, the PlayStation wouldn't be what it is today. Like, any competition is healthy competition, isn't it? So
exactly, that's why I brought it up, to just say well done. So
yeah,
happy birthday and all that malarkey.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's the news.
Yeah. Nice, that was quite good, quite varied, full of opinion. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I've got anything to add.
Trying to mix it up. Okay, there is our bit of news, which is kind of nothing to do with gaming, but sort of is. I just wanted to talk about this kind of funny business.
Yeah, okay.
I've got opinion. I don't really know a lot about it. What I know, I'll tell you what I know, and our listeners can tell me if I'm wrong or not. This Colin Moriarty, is that what he's called?
Yeah.
Right, he tweeted something saying peace at last, hashtag a day without a woman, right? Which personally I thought was quite funny.
Don't say that, otherwise it'll just be me on the podcast next week.
No, well, I thought it was funny because I know that's the sort of thing if my wife goes, because
I'm going out.
I think it's probably better to explain it. It was like a day without a woman was all right. I think the women were all saying, all right, let's not turn up at our jobs, let's not do, I don't want to say let's not do the housework, because that sounds a bit sexist. But that's what my wife does. She's the one that does the housework, not me. As much as I try my best, I'm a bit hopeless at it. But basically they were just saying things like that. Let's not do the housework, let's not turn up at work and do a brilliant job CEOs of all these companies or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just leave the men to it, sort of thing. A day without hashtag, a day without a woman, right? So you can see the point they're trying to make is that basically you wouldn't be able to do anything without it, sort of thing, which is fair enough. I mean, because if my wife left the house and just goes, right, there you go, you do everything, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I'd need to tell the kids to brush their teeth and stuff like that. Oh my god, it'd be chaos.
But he wasn't making a political statement with that, though, was he?
He was basically making a joke. So basically, so if my wife did go, alright, that's it, hashtag day fit women, and you said something like peace at last, I mean, it'd just be a joke, you know what I mean? It was
all kids have gone to bed, peace at last.
It was just, exactly. You could use that, or I'm going out tonight, she went peace at last, you know what I mean? You wouldn't bat an eyelid, would you?
No.
But because it's on the internet, and he says something like that, and he happened to say it on International Women's Day, which is probably not the wisest thing to do, to be fair.
No. But maybe that was,
I think that was the whole point of the joke, though. Do you know what I mean? That it wasn't National Women's Day and it was a day for women, so he just made the joke, hashtag peace. He's just being stupid. You know what I mean? And I can appreciate it's a dad joke, and it's just like a joke you make.
Yeah, the internet's a minefield, though, isn't it? You've always got to watch what you say,
and it's terrible.
Especially when how many followers? That's the problem. You get to a certain
point. He's got 150,000 followers, right?
Yeah. So you're going to piss one of them off.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, but the thing is, right? Even if you don't piss your own followers off, there's always someone waiting in the wings to moan about something, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's people. I mean, I'm not talking about his other views here, like his political views or whatever, because to be honest, I'm a bit naive when it comes to stuff like that. When it comes to sexism, racism, anything like that, I'm a bit naive. I don't have a sort of bone in my body that would think that way, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just not that type of person, so when someone says something relating to that sort of thing, I'm a bit naive in that I've never really think that way.
Yeah. So it's kind of, it goes over your head.
Exactly. So if for instance what he said, the day for Olympics, if that was considered sexist, for instance, and you couldn't say that sort of thing, I'd probably be a bit naive and not even think about it. I'd see the tweet and then I would probably just move on to the next tweet and ignore it.
So is that the reason that he's left?
Yeah, well, apparently this is one of the reasons he left, because, and what pissed me off about the whole thing, right, that really annoyed me, because I listened to their podcast, so the thing that really annoyed me about it, whether it was a joke, whatever, people are entitled to be offended by it, people are entitled to say, hey, it's nothing, it was a joke, don't be offended by it. I mean, you can think what you want about it, and if you want to say something to him or not say something to him, that's up to you. Personally, I wouldn't bother. I'd just go, whatever. It's a joke. But the thing that annoyed me most of all about it, because I listened to their podcasts, is the way his friends just threw him under a bus. That really just struck me as a bit shitty, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the first thing they did, I think, was come out and go, we're sorry, can't say things like that, and they're real apologetic and pure trying to sort of protect themselves sort of thing, and I just thought it was completely out of order.
But then that's his personal Twitter account as well, isn't it? He's not like a lot of people put, these are my views and not the views of my employer.
Yeah.
Like, surely that if he's saying something on his personal account, it does have an effect on his employer's public perception, I suppose, to some extent, but they don't need to come out and kind of say that. Surely that's obvious that it's his account.
They didn't need to say it. They didn't need to pure distance themselves from basically their co-founder and meant to be best friends. I mean, the whole thing of the kind of funny is that they're best friends, all their Patreons are their best friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know, that's how they sort of promote themselves. saying, "Oh, we're all best friends, so if you support us, you're our best friend," sort of thing. And the first thing they do is throw their co-founder and best friend on a bus, and then before you know it, he's left. That's I'd never. I mean, if they've known each other for years, I'd never do that to a friend. I'd never.
Yeah.
I mean, if I didn't agree with something, I'd tell them to their face that they were a complete moron or whatever, and say you shouldn't have said that. Or if somebody asked me if I agreed with them, I'd say no, but that's his opinion, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't distance myself from someone who's a friend, especially if I know them, because obviously they know him. They know he's joking. They know he's joking. They know it's a joke. Yet they're coming out and going, "Oh, we distance ourselves from him and his comments. We don't believe that's true." What's that all about? They know him.
Yeah.
They know his girlfriend was in bed next to him apparently when he made the joke, and she was laughing about it.
They've obviously shot themselves in the foot a little bit.
They have. I think they've lost quite a lot of people. Quite a lot of back. I mean, they haven't lost loads of backers, but they've lost a few. But I mean, it's just, we can't judge them, I guess. But I just from the outside looking in, they threw their friend on a bus, and I just think it's out of order, because I'd never do that to a friend. Who needs friends like that? Do you know what I mean? It's not.
So he's kind of said now as well, hasn't he, that he's done with that kind of industry, isn't he?
So he's left, and today he wants his own Patreon to talk about history and politics. And just looking at it now, I mean, he launched it how long ago? Maybe about 3 hours ago, and he's already got $20,000 a month.
Flipping heck. That is crazy, isn't it?
And he says he's only going to make 2 videos a week, and he's got $20,000 a month.
Is that a month or per video?
A month. That's a lot of money. That's $200,000 a year.
We need to get on Patreon, Joe. As SquareXO. Well, if people have got that much money to give away, then where are we?
Well, he's got 150,000 followers, so once we get 100,000 followers on Twitter, we'll certainly set up our Patreon.
Give away some mugs, t-shirts. I can buy a proper mic.
We'll do a podcast a day for $20,000 for $20,000 a month. We can do one a day. No problem.
Let's get on that.
Yeah.
Crazy. But good luck to him. I mean, I didn't agree with everything that they did.
I don't agree with everything he says. I mean, I think a lot of the things he says, I'm quite naive to, because I don't know what he's talking about half the time. People go on about his political views and all that, but to be honest, I don't really care for politics, so whatever he's blabbing on about, I generally just kind of goes over my head. But when he's making a joke and then his friends throw him under the bus, that's what annoyed me. Because I don't think you should do that. A friend, sure, state publicly that you don't agree with him. If someone asks you, do you agree with him? You go, no, but I've told them that. Then fine.
I'm sure they've said worse things over the years. Maybe we shouldn't talk too much longer, but I listened to their latest one where they were talking about the people online going crazy at the writer of Horizon for using the term brave and savages and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, the world is crazy. People pick up on things that just have no relevance to what they're kind of... They change the agenda of the art to be politicised. And I suppose you look back over history and you look at art in propaganda and propaganda films and that, people can read certain messages into certain works of art or certain this, that and the other, but people are so quick to retrofit it these days to art. You know, not everything has to have a negative meaning. Like, look at Horizon for the positives. Again, this is what they were saying, so we won't tread on it too much, but I thought the last 3 of the last 4 games I've bought have all had strong female protagonists. Everyone's moaning about the industry kind of not representing females right, and I know it doesn't sometimes, and it does others, but, you know, 3 of the last 4 games that I've played have had female protagonists, yet the first thing that someone else picks up on is then, the word braves, and it goes back to some ancient meaning, and it's like, picking at things for the sake of picking at things, and you're picking at the industry for the sake of picking at the industry now.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. If someone comes out and it's overt in the game and it's like, we hate Mars bars, then Mars would, then that's obvious, and Mars could say you can't say that.
I mean, there's just always someone to offend. It's like today, right? There was this girl, I won't say who she is, but she said she was just saying, obviously referring to this Colin guy, that when I think of my favourite female writers, there's always but then they left or similar or something like that. She said it's frustrating to see brilliant young women being harassed out of the games industry, and when it happens to a guy, he gets 11k on Patreon, right?
Right,
That's what she said. Fair enough, that's her view. But then all I said to her in reply was, I said he did put himself out there though, and it worked. I said it would be good to see more females try the same on Patreon. I said, I didn't think that was offensive. I was just saying he did put himself out there.
And if you don't want to back him, don't back him. Yeah.
But he put himself out there and he got backers. That's all I was trying to say. And then I said maybe these females you're talking about who are getting drived out should try the same.
Yeah. Well,
and then she said to me she has a Patreon and she'll never get the kind of numbers. But then she's got 10,000 followers. He's got 150,000. So I mean, that's probably why.
Yeah.
But she also says it's not our fault. Pretty harmful assumption that. And I was thinking, what did I say? What am I being accused of?
Yeah, I try not to engage.
You tell me, what am I being accused of? What does she mean also it's not our fault? Pretty harmful assumption that? Because I thought to myself, if I said something wrong.
There's a load of...
Did you know what I said wrong?
No, I've got no idea what you said wrong. There's loads of really great people on Twitter. Like, there's great female and male community managers and representatives of game companies, and I'm sure, if a few of them were to do Patreons or to do writing and that, they'd all be successful. But there's always a few.
Like I said to her, it shouldn't. After she said that to me, I said it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if you're male, female, gay, straight, black, white, whatever. It shouldn't matter. What should matter is if people like your writing or not. If they like it, they'll read it and they'll back you, whatever you do. And if they don't, then they won't. Yeah. Surely that's the way it should work. And that's what I'm saying. I'm naive to all this because, to be honest, that's what I would do. If I like something, I might not even know it to their name. I might read it and then think, oh, that's good. And then if I see the name, I'll go, alright, I'll keep an eye on them and I'll see some more of their stuff. I won't read something and then go, oh no, it's been written by a woman or a black man or whatever. I'm never going to read any more of this site again. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to do that, am I?
Yeah.
Who does that? Who reads an article? Who honestly goes out their way to read an article and then look at the name and see if it's by someone who they approve of, like a woman, or it's a woman that just wrote that thing I enjoyed, damn it. Sell 10 whips. Who does that?
But again, it's the people that there are people like that, aren't there?
I don't believe that the majority of people are like that. Sure, I believe that there's some people, but I just, this is what gets me when this girl here, right, who's saying basically females have been driven out the industry. I can't see it. I can't see people being driven out. I know it happens, but I've seen it happen to males and females. I've seen it happen to a lot of people. Like this Colin guy, obviously it happened to, and it's happened to a girl called, I don't want to say her name, but it's happened to a girl who I knew because she wrote something people didn't like.
Yeah.
She get driven, but that wasn't because she was a female though. Because there was other people mixed up in this thing, and other people got it just as bad as what she did. It's just that she happened to just be new to the job and she had to leave it. But I mean, I just don't believe it happens to a certain type of people. Maybe it does.
Maybe it does, yeah. And it was just, maybe it needs more exposure.
But But I don't
Maybe
think it's fair to say, oh, this guy's went on Patreon and got 20k. Oh, it's because he's a man. No, it's not. It's because he's got 150,000 followers. That's
and
why
if you've
he's
got that
done
many
so well.
followers, you're gonna utilise them,
It's
aren't you?
nothing
At the
to
end
do
of the
with
day,
him being a man. That's a load of nonsense. If people liked a woman, if a woman, I mean, I can't just use someone's example because I don't know, but if there was a woman with 150,000 followers, which I'm sure there must be a woman in the games
of course there is.
industry with that many
Yeah.
followers. If she went on Patreon, she would get a good backing. I've no doubt about it. A lot of it must come down to talent. You can't just tell me because this is a dodgy subject we're talking about here, but
I know, yeah.
I'm struggling. I don't want to offend
Stay
anyone.
quiet for a bit.
I don't want to offend
But
anyone. I
we're not out to
probably
offend
have.
people, are we?
Oh,
we're
no,
not.
I'm
We're
not.
not out to
I'm
offend
just
people.
giving my opinion, and I mean, I don't, like I say, I don't have a bone in my body that would want to offend anyone. So I don't have this sort of views of it. I'm just me, but I'm just trying to say that I think sometimes people get over offended and look into things too much. I mean, it seems to me
It happens in a lot of industries, so it's not. It isn't exclusive to gaming, is it?
If a person has 150,000 followers, they're going to get a lot of backing when they do something new. That's just a fact. I mean, I've got 3,393 followers. When I started my YouTube, you scale it down, but I got 400 subscribers on YouTube just quite easily, just because I decided to do my YouTube and people, minority of those followers wanted to back me. So if you times that by 10 or whatever, if times it by 10, I might have got 4,000, and that's quite a significant number, isn't it? Times it by 100, you might have got 400,000 or something. You know what I mean? 40,000, sorry. But I mean, you know what I mean? That's quite a significant number who you always, as a journalist, I mean, I know I'm not the biggest personality in the world, but I do have my loyal followers who like to follow me and look at what I do and listen to what I do. And I'm sure this guy who's got his backing with all those followers has exactly that. And I'm sure any woman or whatever would have exactly the same, or any gay man or black man, white man, whatever, would have exactly the same, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I just don't believe. I believe there's only a minority of people who have this sort of hatred for some reason or other about whatever it is. But I just believe the majority of people are good and are accepting and would.
I think.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think we're in agreement. I think most of our listeners will hopefully be in agreement. But it's a shame for that. P.S. I love you will stop. But
I don't know if it's stopping, but
it has for now, isn't it? But anyway, that means more people can listen to us, and we should probably talk about games again.
We can just talk about we never even talked about games, but I knew that was going to happen because I was thinking about that today. So
Yeah, no, it's cool. So I wanted to talk about, we'll change the subject, PS4 games being on PS Now, and just that I didn't read, and this is going back to the negativity around the industry and console wars again, so a lot of people firefighting negative comments. So none of my followers were really making negative comments, but I think a lot of people outside of my circles were, and a lot of people were kind of saying, oh, it isn't bad, it doesn't mean Sony are selling out like Xbox and putting all the exclusives on PC, blah blah blah. I don't know who was being negative about it. Like I say, I haven't seen it, but in my eyes, I think it's quite a smart move and a positive move. In that, yes, it means you don't need to own a PS4 to play PS4 games. You can stream them on your Mac or your PC. But what it does do is it gives people the ability to try some PS4 games, like them, and then invest for the small sum of £200 on an actual console for their living room, because not many people will have a PC hooked up to their telly, I don't believe. So, you know, you get a few of the older PS4 games, you might get Last of Us and Until Dawn and Metal Gear 5 or whatever on PS Now. You might get a few people playing them on PC and then decide to actually take the plunge and buy a PS4 I think a lot of people's problem was that they thought it was going to put people off buying a PS4. I can't see
it won't.
because especially a PS4 Pro, I can see this angling towards marketing that. So yeah, you can play on a PC, you can play a 2-year-old game at 720p over a stream, or you can invest a little bit and play now in 4K on your telly. It's like a stepping stone to it. So I think it's quite a good idea. Although then I have bashed Xbox, and we both, I wouldn't say bashed, but we've both kind of said in the past that what's the point in owning an Xbox because all their games are coming out on PC too.
But it's always going to be. It's always going to be the older games, but then it's the same with this new Xbox Game Pass. Everybody's going, oh, it's the best thing. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Amazing idea, blah blah. But it's only going to be the really old, crappy games that are on it. You know what I mean? The ones that everybody's either played or ignored. And it's the same with PS Now. It's just going to be the old games.
Yeah, it might be, but it definitely will be to start with, won't it? They're not going to all of a sudden put Horizon and Persona 5 and all these great current exclusives on it, because that's not what they did with PS Now in the past. They put on a handful of games to give people to try. So, and also, I don't know if the internet's good enough. Imagine trying to stream Horizon with its graphical greatness over a 40 or even a 20 meg download.
Stuff
it
like
just
that
wouldn't work.
Won't happen. It's just going to be interesting, I think, that to see how it all pans out. But I don't. It just gives people a little taste of PS4, which is nice. But it's not going to be. It's not going to be a big taste. You know what I mean? It's going to be a sort of little tease of the really old games.
Of course it is.
You might not even get PS4 exclusives on there, to be honest. You might not get your Uncharted and your Infamous on PC and stuff. It might just be third-party games they put on there.
Well, they're not stupid, are they? Sony aren't all of a sudden going to be like, oh, we're going to just give away all of our best assets. They're going to have a plan.
They might let people play Uncharted so that they then buy PS4 to try Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3, what you say. Uncharted 4, so...
That's what I think. I think they'd be clever. And I reckon we'll see a PS Now and PS Plus kind of bringing together at some point in the quite near future as well.
I've always said that, so I have, so...
We've just been followed by someone with a blue tick.
Oh, Mick Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big mouth, he is. He has a big mouth, I'm sure he'll admit it. But then so am I, so we follow each other, so we know each other well.
I think it's our first blue tick follower on _XO.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of him, actually, I'm not actually referring to him. It's just when I saw him, he'd followed Sarah, it made me think, actually. And what we were talking about earlier, it made me think that quite a lot of UK journalists who, I mean, him for instance, Kirk, he writes for quite a lot of...
Was he actually the Raven Man?
I don't know.
Like in his picture, I used to watch that before I went to work after I graduated. If it is, then he's a celebrity in my eyes.
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
What's the Raven Man?
Raven, like the black bird. It used to be like a kid's challenge, a bit like Crystal Maze, but for kids.
I don't know.
But they'd have to do.
But anyway, he writes for quite a lot of places, and it got me thinking. He writes for OXM, OPM, all these ones, Eurogamer, all over the place. And obviously, there's quite a lot of journalists like him who write for quite a lot of places, and then you get the more popular journalists because they're in one place, like IGN or whatever. And I was just looking at quite a few of them and thinking a lot of the UK-based journalists don't really have a lot of followers on Twitter when you compare them to the US ones, because I was following some of the US ones. And
that population difference, though.
No, I don't think
there's a lot more people in America than there is in the UK.
You can say that, but it's not really the way it works on the internet, because
I suppose it's one world, isn't it?
We're global, aren't we? So
yeah.
I don't think it's anything to do with that. I mean, I just think it's to do with the fact that I don't know. I was just trying to get my head around it. So if you take somebody from Video Gamer or somebody from Eurogamer or whatever and look at them, and they've got like, I don't know, 10,000 followers max. This Greg Miller guy, he's got nearly 1 million followers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or somebody for IGN or Waypoint or whatever. And you
wonder
just
if it's
look at them all.
to do with, so a lot of our, I don't know, I was going to say, a lot of the journalists I know and that I follow and speak to have been mainly print journalists. So they'd have written for official PlayStation magazine, official Nintendo magazine, or this, that, and the other. And that transition between digital, from print to digital, has been quite slow in the UK. It's taken quite a long time for, well, I don't even think PlayStation magazine have a website. It's all part of Games Radar. So I wonder if in the US that the transition from print to digital was quicker or more clever, and they just utilised technology because that's where it was all born. I don't know. Odd. It is strange, though. Like you say, you'd think, especially someone that's writing for some of the bigger magazines or the bigger websites, they would have more of a following, but
I don't know.
They will in time.
I just get the feeling that US journalists, for some reason, are just more outspoken and more popular, for some reason or other. Maybe it's because they're more outspoken. Maybe it's because, I don't know, that their websites just seem to get more traction, even in the UK, than the Eurogame, for instance, obviously one of the biggest websites in Europe, but it's still not as big as IGN, for instance, which is kind of global, isn't it?
But then IGN kind of covers, it isn't just gaming. I mean, I don't like IGN personally looking at it because there's just too much on it. I don't care about Doctor Who and all these other. If I want gaming news, I want gaming news. Eurogame
just made me
just
think.
Gaming.
I guess what just made me think is sometimes we're in our little niche and all that of gaming, and we think to ourselves, oh, we probably all think we're our own self-importance as gamers, thinking that it's the biggest thing ever, but it just makes you think that it's not really as big as we think it is in the sort of wider world. Do you know what I mean?
It's not, is it? It's complete. I'm the only person in my office that plays gaming weekly, I'd say. There's no one else that sits in the office where I go to work that has any interest in gaming. I'm the only guy there. I'm the only person there that has any interest in gaming. So when my Nintendo Switch came in the post, no one knew what it was. No one cared. I was all excited. I opened it, put it on my desk, blah, blah, blah. No, yeah. And there's 15, 20 people in my office. So we are still in the minority completely. Yeah. And that's a problem, I think, sometimes.
You don't think about that, though, when you're on Twitter and we're talking to everybody, or talking to all our followers, and they're talking about games, because you only follow the people really who've got the same interest as you. And it's like, then you're a bit like, it feels really popular.
I think it's getting bigger and it's getting more accepted, and people understand it as a hobby more than what they ever used to. But it's still, it's still a really young medium. Now everyone in the office will go to the cinema or watch films. I know that because I talk about films with them too. But not everyone games. So But when you're on Twitter or you're online, you create your community and you mix with like-minded people, and that's why it seems that everyone on my Twitter feed either is a gamer or a football fan, because that's who I've
same me. Rangers fans and gamers. And maybe I should someone said I should take a different career path. Colin Moriarty's on 20k a month now, and he wasn't on anywhere near that. It's kind of funny. Maybe I wonder how big the baking community is.
Well, sadly, you've just missed out on the host's job for Great British Bake Off, because Noel Fielding got that, didn't he?
I could have done that. I could be the next, what do you call it?
Mary Berry.
Jamie Oliver. I could. Have you seen my recent baking? I'm pretty impressed.
I did see it. Yeah, it looked good. I saw someone said they want them as runner-up prizes for the podcast competitions as well, which I agree with. I think we all need to do a tasting session. I mentioned the other week we might, like, if we did a get-together for a game tournament or something at some point in the future, you could supply the food.
Yeah. We need to do a Patreon for that so I can afford the ingredients.
Yeah, exactly. I think we should definitely start researching how to do this kind of stuff. I think
Patreon ingredients.
For just £1 a month, Joe can buy flour and sugar. Anyway,
and make cakes.
So, what have you been playing?
Not a lot the past week, I'd have to say, because I kind of got a bit disillusioned with it all, or disheartened or something, and I was just like, oh. And I kept going to pick up the Switch, and I played a bit of Zelda, like half an hour or something, but then I was like, oh, no, can't be bothered. I did play Mass Effect for about 6 hours.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So whenever that came out, I played that for a couple of days. So I guess I did play something. I've not really played much Horizon. So it's really been Zelda and Mass Effect. Like I say, I quite like Mass Effect. I don't like animation, I don't like the combat really, but there's just something about it I can't put my finger on.
What is the combat system in it?
Okay, it's got
is it RPG style?
Third sort of person shooting, but it just to me it feels like the main characters are nice. I don't really like it. It's something that's a bit cheesy, I think. But it's still good. There's something about it. I don't know what. I need to play it more to figure out what it is I like about it. But yeah, it's okay.
Are you with the early access from EA? So say you've played it now for 6 hours on your Xbox, and this is a really stupid, naive question. But what do you do if you want to buy it on PS4 now? You just start again and have to do all of that again.
Basically.
Fair enough.
Which is probably why I won't bother, because I wouldn't buy it on the Xbox. So if I was going to play that game, I would be playing on a PlayStation. So it's probably not going to happen.
No, fair enough. So I've done a bit more Zelda myself. I'm up to the 3rd Divine Beast. Like you say, I've not been as hooked on it this week. I'm still enjoying it. It's still good, but I've just been playing Nier. I finished the first playthrough, so I've started the next playthrough now, where you play as a different character from a different point of view, and you can hack the robots and make them all kill each other and stuff. So just been enjoying that really. I haven't played anything else, but I've got
it's been a bit of a slacking week for us then.
I wouldn't say slacking, because I'm up to about 20 hours on Nier now. I'm at that stage where I've got games that are lasting me a long time, so I'm not going to move on from Zelda for a while.
I've got all these games where it's just loads and loads to play, and it's like sometimes I'm a bit tired.
I want something that's a bit more quick fire, though. I crave something that I can just pick up, play for 5 minutes, and put down. There isn't really much out at the moment. I think I said it before. Everything seems to be open world. I want something where you could pick up, do a level, put it down. But at the moment there doesn't seem to be much on the horizon for that, I don't think. Or there might not be much call for it at all from gamers either. So, but that's what I've been playing. So, are we gonna do a competition?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah. So we're gonna give away a copy of Nier. I'll put a tweet out. As you know, we're completely split here on it. So someone can win it and try it for themselves and see what they think. So
that's why it's my promo copy.
Yeah,
because I'm giving away the copy I reviewed. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, well, we just won't say any more than that. But we'll just do your standard retweet and follow us to win this, because it's easiest to do, and we'll announce the winner next week on the podcast.
Yeah, do that. So, enjoy it.
Sounds good.
Whoever wins.
I'm sure. Yeah, only retweet it if you actually want to play it. Don't be retweeting it to then.
I've heard a lot of people say, actually, to be fair, there's quite a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's a shame that a game like, what were they talking about, Mass Effect or Ghost Recon, even they're going, oh, it's a shame games like this kind of mean that great games like Nier get overlooked."
Yeah, I agree. I think so. And maybe that's where the review scores do mean something, in that...
Although, saying that...
Hello? I think Joe's microphone's broke. It still says it's recording.
Damn it. Back.
You're back. I didn't know whether that was me or you.
No,
and that
it's
was
my fault. I pushed the mic down and the cable came out.
Rubbish.
No, to be fair, I think Mass Effect and Ghost Recon, for what I've played, are better than Nier.
Yeah, well, we won't get into that again.
So,
but what I was going to say is that at least the developers can see the scores and at least know that someone's liking it. Yeah. So if it's not being a sales success, it's been a critical success.
That's why I'm saying the scores don't mean anything, because to me, those two are better games. To you, that's a better game. So they don't really mean anything, because it'd be like you would score Nier 90 or whatever, I would score it 70 or whatever, and I might score Mass Effect 75, which it's.
And I might score it 50. So
yeah, exactly. So it doesn't really mean anything. It's all the nonsense.
I saw I saw your tweets with Turnip Lord about review scores, and I think that I don't know whoever introduced review scores in the first place way back when, but it's so hard to quantify how good something is out of 100 or out of 10. It should just be why it's good, why it's bad, and if you liked X, then you're like this.
Yeah, it's about what we used to do in Shop 2 when I decided to get at these scores, and I said, right, set no more scores, and I just put pros and cons instead. Yeah. And I think that worked well.
You like Gran Turismo, you're like Drive Club. And that kind of then that tells people more than saying it's a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I put scores on my reviews on YouTube, but to be honest, the only reason I done it is so people would look at it. I mean, literally, that's the honest truth. I don't like scoring games, but I put scores on it so that people would pay attention and look at it, because that's what you need to do if you actually want to get people's attention. It's sad, and I don't want to do it, but if you need to just get your reviews out there and people to watch them, they will if you put a score by it, and it's pathetic, really, but oh well, if it's going to get people to watch it, then why not?
Yeah. It's a difficult one.
That's what you have to do when you're a bit smaller. I mean, if all of a sudden I get 1 million people watching each review, I would dump the scores in a second. Do you know what I mean?
But some people want scores. For some reason, some people want to be able to compare Mass Effect Andromeda with Gran Turismo. Two completely different games that might both get 7 out of 10. Doesn't mean they're as good as each. Like, I don't know. It's such an odd kind of way of doing it, and 5 out of 10 is average, so more games should be getting 5 out of 10 than above or below that, but it doesn't happen like that. Like, most games will get 7, 8 or 9, which then isn't the average score anymore. Do you see what I mean? Like, 5 out of 10 should be a good game because it's average. Like, if you have something that is average, it's 5 out of 10. But the industry doesn't work like that. If it's not an 8 or above, it's rubbish. And that's my problem with it.
Stuff that well in mind.
Anyway, we've chatted on a lot today about a lot of different things. Very varied.
Everything. Yeah, we've not really talked gaming a lot, have we? But I just I knew it was going to be in my mind, though, a bit that you shouldn't throw your friends under a bus. That was my main sticking point about all the
that's
things.
The moral of the story.
Yeah, about all the things that came out, whether it was sex and all that stuff, whatever. The only thing that stuck out to me about all of it was that these friends threw him under a bus.
Yeah,
that was the only thing. I didn't care of anything else. I was just thinking that's out of order. After everything kind of you've been through together, you go and do that. That just kind of annoyed me.
Yeah.
Never throw your friends under the bus.
What's out this week?
The moral of the story. Okay, let me have a look.
Anything?
Mass Effect. Mass Effect's out this week, and
number 1 next week. Then do we reckon?
There's a game. Yeah, probably. There's also a game out called Troll and I. That is about a troll and a little boy. I think there's a Mario game for 3DS out this week. Mario Sports Superstars, I think it was called. But don't
another one of them. Yeah.
Let me just double check. I think that was out this week, but maybe it's out in the US or something. Vikings Wolves of Midgard. That's a sort of top-down Diablo-esque type game.
You were getting that, weren't you? On
Yeah,
on
I'll
your
probably
Boomerang?
go to get that from the Boomerang so that I can review it, because I just thought I could have reviewed Mass Effect, but everybody else so have done that already, so I thought I would go for something a bit different, so I decided to go for that one.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. And also This Is the Police, which was quite interesting, a sort of I think it's strategy game. I don't know a lot about it, but I know basically you're the chief police, you've got 6 months before you retire, and you need to make $500,000 for before you go, and you can
Okay.
either do it by honesty or not.
What game was that?
This Is the Police, so you can turn a blind eye to the mafia and whatever it was. It's quite interesting actually. That one
Not heard of that.
might be one.
Is that a
to look
digital
up.
download game?
I think it actually come to retail as well, but I think it's digital. But if it's come to retail, I think it's probably a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so keep an eye on that one. There doesn't seem to be a new Dragon Ball or Atelier or what's the other one that always comes out weekly?
Naruto. Did you say Naruto?
Naruto. There doesn't seem to be any of them this week, so that's good. There's Tukiden 2, whatever that is. That sounds like that sort of game.
Yeah, that is another one, yeah.
Persona 5 is coming soon.
That's April the
4th.
Yeah, April the 4th.
And Lego City Undercover, you can't watch too. It kind of slows down a bit until the next big game, I would say, like the one that's going to kind of make an impact and people go be talking about it all the time, is probably Prey, but that's not out to May 5th.
We've got a big break there. Well, that's good because I go away for holidays. So
there's games coming out like Mario Kart Deluxe and
oh yeah, that yeah. We'll talk about that next week and the
Ghost
pricing
Warrior
of it, I think.
3, Micro Machines, Stardew Valley Collector's Editions, Yooka-Laylee, sort of smaller-ish games, I would say.
Yeah.
Lego City Undercover, games that have been out for are coming out for the first time, but they're a bit smaller. But probably the next sort of big AAA game's Prey, which is May 5th, and then also in May, it's still a bit quiet. And Justice 2, I mean, I'd say would kind of slowed down a bit. Tekken 7's in June, Dark 4, Crackdown, and then that's kind of, Crackdown's probably not to the second half year. So yeah, there's not really, it's kind of slowed down a bit. I think March we were spoiled, really.
Massively
there is
spoiled
stuff coming out between now and June, but it's just not as definitely slowed down a bit. That's
good though, because it gives us all a chance to catch up with the madness that has been March.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're kind of going on a bit now, so
yeah, sounds like your kids killing each other again.
Yeah, the kids is killing each other, and we need to let you digest everything we talked about. I hope I didn't offend anyone, because I didn't mean to. If I did, I was just trying to get my point across, but I don't know if I've done it well or not.
I'm sure you haven't. I'm sure everyone is fine with us.
I'm just trying to make my point in the best way I could. Maybe I should
get involved on Twitter. Get involved.
Maybe I should sort of do some videos where I just talk at the camera about stuff like that. See how many people like it. See how many people
start some fights.
I might do. You know what I'm like? I've got a big mouth. Joe's Big Mouth, I could call it. That's a good title, isn't it? Or what a big mouth.
You could put all those cakes in it.
Yeah.
In your mouth.
Yeah, Joe's Big Mouth, and then at the end, if I could see how many people have offended in the comments, and then make a second video and I have to put a cake in my mouth for every person I've offended.
Do you know what video we are still all waiting for? It's the smashing of the blue DualShock.
I seem to have lost that blue DualShock. I don't know where it went. It seems to have mysteriously disappeared.
Oh yeah, funny that. We've been waiting since like episode 2 of this.
I might go have a cake now.
Nah. No, that's cool, yeah. I want people to get involved on Twitter with us, so if you want to have your say on whatever we've been talking about, or put a point across that maybe we've missed, or just share your thoughts with us, then please do so.
I tweeted my bacon. Did you see the picture?
Yeah, I did.
See that one? Because I've done some cupcakes for the kids, as you can see. They're quite nice looking, aren't they? But
Oh.
I made the other ones a Mars bar cake, right? So I took the Rice Krispies, I melted 3 Mars bars with some syrup and butter, and I poured it all over the Rice Krispies. And then I covered it in chocolate.
Making me hungry here. I've not had dinner yet.
So
I'm
tasty.
starving.
It's
Yeah.
sweet.
Have you eaten them all?
Nah, not yet.
Oh, can I give you my address?
It's sweet. It's easy to make. I also made some healthy granola, which is nice.
Do you know what? Put the recipe up for those Mars bar things on the website. See if anyone wants the recipe.
Yeah, if you want the recipe, I can tweet you. I've got it on my Pinterest.
Yeah, I think you should.
Do it. The healthy granola is good. No sugar. Sugar-free. That's my breakfast.
Nice.
There we go. You even got some bacon tips at the end.
Lovely. That was a good show. Or good podcast today.
Good. Glad to hear it. Right, okay, we're back next week. Think unless Dan's on holiday.
No, I'm about next week.
Whenever you're on holiday, we should do maybe a couple of short ones, so we've got some to post up in the weeks you're not here.
Could do. Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll talk about that off there. Yeah, just put something up. We could just do a couple of games that we disagree on.
Yeah. And then we can have one each week. Consistency, even if it's half an hour. There's something there then, see? Brilliant.
Yeah, we'll get that sorted. Because I am travelling the world. I'll be gone for 3 weeks, so...
So we need 3 full episodes.
Yeah.
3 half-hour episodes. That's what we need. Just to cover it. That's what we need. Okay.
We should do a Q&A. Maybe try and get some people to send us some questions about what our favourite games are, what we've played, what we've not liked. Because then we could just answer them as well. But then
either that, or I'll just replace you for 3 weeks. Although I want them to do the graphic.
You can't replace me. You can't throw me under the bus.
Yeah.
On that note, let's go.
Okay then. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.